I'm here with Mr. Vicente Castillo. He's the President and CEO of the Philippine Dealing System. Now, you may ask the question, what is the Philippine Dealing System, PDS? And that's what he's here to tell us. And he's also going to explain how the PDS can help people with excess funds, PhilAMs, invest not just in real estate or stocks, but in securities. Mr. Castillo?
Well, PDS is a capital market infrastructure. We provide a price discovery platform through an exchange company registered with the SEC. Similar to the Philippine Stock Exchange that caters to equities, Philippine Dealing and Exchange Corporation caters to bonds.
Yes.
And we do
Not
have
just bonds, correct? All
bonds,
sorts of papers, whether it's
fixed
60 days, 25 years.
well, okay. Right now we're still into bonds.
Okay.
But we do have plans of eventually providing fixed income solutions on the short end, probably exchange-traded funds for fixed income underlying instruments. Hopefully in the future bring our fixed income markets to the home borrowers by securitizing mortgage notes and pooling them for listing. But the majority of our transactions at this point, because we're still in the process of development of the private issue paper, is government bonds. And we do find the opportunity that the government bonds is now trading at a turnaround ratio on the average of 3 to 4 times its issue, which is comparable to somewhat already a developing market. It does not sound as emerging anymore. And our plans...
So you're differentiating a developing market from a
because the
developing
turnaround ratio of a bond dictates of whether your market is infantile, maturing, or developed. Any bond, any market that trades lower than a one-time turnaround ratio needs a lot of development. And that's where we started, 5 years ago. Our benchmark bonds now are trading at about 8 times turnaround ratio, similar to already a developed market. But the total issue is still trading at about 3 times ratio. So that means from less than 1, we're now over 3. And domestic liquidity and participation of domestic investors are now captured, recorded, properly settled, and we're expanding our domestic base.
All because you set up the infrastructure or the network.
Well, I think it would have helped a lot more if you have the infrastructure, because you have a market more organized than from preventing. We could also have a web link to the Filipino community offshore.
Which means that any Filipino living anywhere in the world could,
through the programs that we can either work with other exchanges or duly compliant with offshore regulations, do some direct access via web. There are options we're looking at, and the National Treasury by itself obviously would like to reach out to our heroes, OFWs who have savings offshore, so that they can have timely access. Also to our Philippine expats offshore, who seem to never forget that there is a Philippines. And I really think that the opportunity that when the international banks were shattered in the last 3 years, that it's always nice to go home to Manila. And that we likewise can take care of their funds and give them opportunities in their home country. Obviously, it is not that grew, it is not us, it's our market. And obviously our volumes grew because they were very active last year. Just like any market, it has peaks and valleys. When interest rates go down, there are a lot of trades in the bonds. When interest rates go up, there seems to be some level of slowdown. But the beautiful part is there will always be a demand for recurring incomes. And that there will always be a market to go exponential, because we are also feel that the more that we put issues, the more that the local community knows that there are opportunities in bonds, the more that we can go and outreach ourselves through the web, because securities are now electronic, then we could probably deepen further our debt markets in the Philippines and hopefully make us more attractive for foreign investors or our foreign-based Filipino compatriots.
How many issues did you say you have in the next 18 months expected?
No, what we have in the last 18 months is...
How about in the future?
Well, I think the opportunities can go exponential because we are also now in the process now of developing various asset classes where the corporations can issue. As I said, we might be looking into bill of exchange type of solutions for short-term trades because there's also demand for short-term private issues. We're also looking at the possibility of considering that the Philippine benchmarks on interest rates have tightened and have been very credible, that we might be able to start securitizing home mortgages. And we also have the vision that the access to capital markets is not only limited to big corporations. If properly structured, properly pooled, regular Filipinos can borrow versus their homes and can be pooled and structured so that they could access the same direct capability to the investing public. And you don't only benefit the borrowers, you also benefit the savers because you give them an array of options. We gain more of the public going into the markets. The mix balances. Yes. In a more developed market, I would say 60-40 because redistribution has a double count. I buy from you, I take a position and then I sell to him because that's my duty. I am a merchandiser of securities. The volume of dealers is an indication that there is now a development of more redistribution. And also, it can also reflect direction of interest rates. Because some dealers also take their own private positions, take a view on interest rates, and they load up when they feel interest rates will go to their favor. So there are also market reasons why volumes move, but I think the best indicator is the turnaround ratio. Because even if our volumes moved in that direction, there's still more to go. Because that is not even 4 times the turnaround ratio of the total issue. You will still have a risk on your broker. We're not eliminating that. That's why choose your broker correctly. But we are endeavoring that once it enters our platform, we assure you that we are trying our best to make sure that the price discovery is immediate, that the settlement highways are safe, and that we can assure your brokers that we can settle with finality your orders.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Castillo.